Hey y'all, Richard Ash, Folkcraft Instruments. Today I'm going to show you a prototype of a new instrument we're working on. And I say prototype, this is rough. It's got pencil marks all over the top, it's not sanded, it's not lacquered. This is strictly for sound, not for looks, so don't judge me on the looks. Either me or the instrument, I guess. This is a dulcimer we're working on that we are aiming for volume. Volume and tone. We're not worrying about sounding a ton like a dulcimer, although it's going to, I think, when it's done. We're not worried about making, oh, that's such a pretty dulcimer. We're worried about getting an instrument that can compete with a guitar or banjo or a mandolin in a mixed acoustic jam, or something that a fingerstyle player, somebody who's using fingers rather than strumming, can play in a dulcimer group and still be heard. So that's our goal with this one. That's what we're working on. This instrument is the standard length for a dulcimer, 36 inches-ish, 39 inches. It's about 12 inches wide, which is big for a dulcimer. Our standard California bodies are about 8 inches wide. So this is an extra 4 inches there. It's a little bit, or it's the same depth now as our standard California body. I think we're going to go a little bit deeper on this one. This prototype has a tall bridge and strings that go to the end. The next prototype will have a much shorter bridge and strings that anchor on the bottom of the bridge, more like a guitar, which will also increase our volume. But as a first draft on this instrument, I am super, super happy with it. It is loud, it is powerful, and it has a pleasing tone. So let me play a little bit for you and let you hear it, and then we'll talk about what we're working on for the next version of this instrument, which will be next week, probably. We're moving fast since we're not doing the sanding and the lacquering. Prototyping, actually gluing together rough parts, is really pretty quick on something like this. And let me play a little bit for you and let you hear it, and then I'll show you a few more details. All right, we'll switch over to the other camera. I'll give you some Shenandoah and some wildwood flower. Yeah, I told you we're aiming for a flat picker or a finger picker being heard. This is a loud dulcimer, which was the goal. That's our overriding design element that we're aiming for, is power. Kind of a neat instrument. This one has bracing similar to a guitar's bracing. You can see the red pencil, maybe not on the camera. There's a red pencil mark that goes from here down to about here, and another one that goes from here down to about here. That indicates where we've got bracing. There's an actual strut on the inside of the instrument that goes from here all the way to here, one piece of wood, and another piece from here to here, that support the ends of the bridge. That makes it so that this 12-inch wide instrument doesn't collapse with the string pressure, and that'll be even more important once we move the strings, the ends of the strings from here up to the bottom of the bridge. If you look at the side of the bridge, this bridge is really, really tall right now. It's a good inch tall, and that's what we needed to do to match the 3/4 inch height of the fretboard, which we need so you can use a capo on the fretboard. Our next iteration, we're going to experiment. We're going to take the fretboard standard thickness here and taper the fretboard down so the fretboard's only 3/8 of an inch or so tall at this end. And then we'll be able to do a 1/4 inch tall bridge, which will allow us to put the pins that are right now at the end of the body. We'll be able to put those pins at the base of the bridge. And totally, please ignore the piece of paper underneath the bridge. That was we're setting this up fast. Ignore the ugly micarta laid into the top of the bridge. We took a lot of shortcuts visually just to get this done to see what it sounds like. Am I 100% happy with this? Absolutely not. I'm never happy with anything. Y'all that know me know that. But am I 100% happy with this as a prototype? Absolutely. I think this is one of those instruments that could end up being very, very important to us as far as a new product line. I'm going to need a name for this. And we have the Folkroots and the Folkcraft lines of instruments to work with. We have the Folkcraft FSH and the Folkcraft Custom. We have the Folkroots D series and the Folkroots H series. This is going to be a Folkcraft instrument. It's not going to be entry level by any means by the time we doctor it up and get everything done right. But I'm not sure what to call it yet. This is not a Hawaiian guitar, so we're going to stay away from the Weissenborn name or variations there. This is not a true dulcimer. A true dulcimer would have a fretboard that ran from one end of the body to the other end. Fretboard stopping in the middle. It's not a dulcimer. It's got a diatonic fretboard. We're going to play it like a dulcimer and treat it like a dulcimer. It's going to be made by a company that makes dulcimers, but it's technically not a dulcimer. So I'm not sure what to call this. I'm open to ideas. John Keane named our Lapjo years ago. Maybe John's the person that needs to come up with a name for this one too. That guy's got a creative brain. I'll bet some of y'all do too, so maybe you can come up with something for us. The next prototype, we're going to go 25 inch for the VSL. This is only 23 inches from nut to bridge. And we get this kind of power out of 23 inches. I can't wait to see what 25 gives us. We're going to eliminate this hole. The fretboard will be a couple inches longer. The bridge will be a couple inches farther down. We're going to take these Fs, put slightly larger ones here, right at the widest part of the instrument. I think those will look sharp and probably will not have a meaningful effect on the sound either way. That's what we've got. Let me know what you think. Send me a message, sales@folkcraft.com, if you've got ideas, especially for naming, and if you've got suggestions for how to make an instrument like this more appealing to fingerstyle players. And I know we want some kind of a wrist rest, something to set the fingers on. I already got that. Thank you, Wendy. Anyway, so that's what we've got. I'm going to leave you with that, and thank you very much for watching.